Welcome back. My name is Kris Krohn, and on this channel, we normally talk about real estate, investing, business, finance. But today I want to hit something very powerful in the game of mindset that we don't normally talk about. It's the one thing I learned that totally changed my life, and it made me a better investor. And frankly, it led to me becoming a lot more successful. Today we're going to talk about how I eliminated being a people pleaser and really learning to take back my power to live life on my terms. So if you're really here because you want to be financially very successful, then let's pull back the curtains and let me share with you the one thing that changed my life that will set you up for true success. So what could we be talking about today? I mean, Kris, if we're not talking about buying real estate or we're not talking about buying a business, what could we possibly talk about in the realm of mindset that could possibly lead to being a successful investor? I'm going to tell you right now that the time, effort, and energy that you put into developing yourself will always have a direct impact on the results of your life. Financially, it'll make you more successful. In your love life, it'll make you more successful. In your health, it'll make you more successful, which is why you can't really get anywhere in life without doing a certain amount of personal development. And today's conversation is actually what got me into this personal development realm for the very first time. I had to break free from a pattern that I had that I didn't even know that I had. And it's called people pleasing. Let me ask you, are you a people pleaser, or do you know what people pleasing is? People pleasing is constantly trying to make other people happy, but often at the cost of your own well-being. In other words, it's like always being oriented to other people. It's like, how do I need to present to this person? And how do I want this person to see me? And how can I be liked by this person? And you're so busy basically trying to please other people that you don't actually have the time, effort, and energy to live your own life. This pattern is driven by fear. It's a fear of rejection, it's a fear of confrontation, and it's a fear of not being liked. And here's the truth, if you live for people's acceptance, you'll die from their rejection. I know this firsthand because when I got started in the game of building my real estate business, I had employees and people that I was working with, and I needed to be liked originally when I played that game. And it became so emotionally draining to be liked by people. And then when I wasn't, like I had all of this consternation and all this fear and all these issues inside of myself. It was getting in the way like crazy. And today I want to share with you what I did to get rid of it. For me, it all started when I sat down with my very first coach. And within minutes of meeting him, he looked at me and kind of scrunched up his eyes, and he turned his head to the side and he said, "Wow, you're pretty inauthentic, aren't you?" And I was young, I was in my early 20s. I didn't really even know what the word authenticity meant. I thought that it just meant like honest. And so I looked at him, I'm like, are you saying that I'm dishonest? And he said, "Well, yes, I am. You're dishonest." And I said, "You don't even know me. How can you call me dishonest?" He said, "You don't know me. You come into my office, you shake my hand, you've got a big smile, and it's pretty clear that you want me to like you. But you don't know me. Why do you need me to like you?" And it was right then and there that I realized that I was a people pleaser and that I didn't really know what it meant to be authentic. But then he explained this. A different way of saying people pleaser is that you're a liar. Because what you do is you chameleon yourself to be liked by other people instead of being true to who you are. You see, there are dangers of people pleasing. The first one is a loss of identity. You lose sight of your own needs, your own goals, your own desires. Number two is burnout. You're constantly saying yes, which leads to emotional and physical exhaustion. Number three, there's emotional manipulation. Others take advantage of your kindness, leaving you feeling used and unappreciated. And finally, resentment. You begin to resent the very people that you were trying to please. So it's kind of weird then. It's like, okay, well then why are people pleasing in the first place? Well, it's a false comfort zone. We do it because it feels safe, because what we're doing is we're focusing on avoiding conflict, we're avoiding rejection, but it's really all a trap, right? It's a short-term gain and it produces a long-term pain. Temporarily you get approval, but then you lose yourself in the process. Ginny Rometty was known for saying that growth and comfort do not coexist, and they're right. And since I own my own event center and I put on events for hundreds of people at a time, I get to assess the audience. And my guess is that the majority of the human race, easily over 80%, are walking people pleasers, and they never figure it out. And there's different reasons why we are people pleasing in the first place. Number one is a fear of rejection, right? We've got this deep-rooted fear that we're not going to be accepted or loved. The second reason is we already started off with a low self-esteem. So believing that you're only worthy if you make others happy is a problem in the first place. Like, you're here to learn how to be happy for you. Trying to build up your self-esteem by making other people happy, Frankly, their happiness is their business, it's not yours. And then we do it for external validation, right? Relying on other people's to validate our self-worth, right? If I'm really nice to you, maybe you'll be nice to me and you'll be thanking me. And it's like, oh, maybe I am enough. Maybe I'm okay with myself. Instead of just owning your own self-worth, like that's for you to own it. If you're always relying on other people to build you up and make you feel good the way parents do for kids, you're an adult now. Like it's time for you to do this on your own. Said a different way, you can never get enough of what you don't need, because what you don't need can never satisfy. So this bottomless pit inside of you needing words of affirmation and other people telling you that you're okay and other people building you up, it never lasts. It doesn't last unless you can do it for yourself. So if you want to break the cycle, it all starts by learning this special word, and people pleasers don't like it. And the word is no, right? You have to learn how to set boundaries on your time, your energy, your emotions. You need to protect them. And you have to learn how to say no without guilt. Like saying no, it's not selfish, it's about self-care. People pleasers are constantly saying yes, and when they do, they overcommit themselves, and then they can't keep all those commitments, and eventually you're gonna disappoint people, or you're gonna get burned out trying. You also need to learn how to communicate clearly and confidently. Learning how to be direct, being respectful, but firm. In the beginning, you might just want to start by practicing no to really small things to build your confidence for the bigger decisions that you also need to say no to. Years ago, I read this book by Byron Katie called Loving What Is. I highly recommend this book. She basically says that there's your business, there's my business, and there's God's business. And you don't belong in God's business, and you don't belong in their business. You really only belong in your own business. But people pleasers are constantly inserting themselves into other people's lives and trying to manage their thoughts and their feelings. It's draining, and it can rob you of really creating your own life. If you're gonna ditch the people pleasing, it does need to be replaced with something. And it starts with discovering what it is that you want for your life. Focusing on your desires, not theirs. Your dreams, your goals, not theirs. And on top of that, practicing self-care. We people please in the first place because we're just trying to be accepted. Accept yourself, and you do that by practicing self-care, prioritizing activities that nourish your mind, your body, your soul. Like I went to the redwoods to just go be amongst the trees. It lights me up. Or I take time to go fly fishing, or I'm gonna go hunting, or I'm gonna take some time to paint or do a creative outlet, or I'm just gonna take some time for me. I'm gonna read this book. I'm gonna meditate. Like, what can you do to take care of you? And at the same time, you gotta let go of guilt, that your worth isn't tied to making other people happy. It's okay to put yourself first. In fact, the best way to take care of other people the most is to take care of yourself the most, because when you feel self-loved and when you feel nurtured, you then have the strength and ability to go out and crush it at that business or your job or build that investment portfolio. It's no different than being on the plane when they say, put the oxygen mask on you first before you can put it on somebody else. And if you're a people pleaser, it might mean that you have some unhealthy relationships, because a real healthy relationship is built on respect. True relationships thrive on mutual respect, not endless sacrifice. So what you do is you set boundaries and you communicate openly. And people who care about you, they're gonna respect your limits. Don't be afraid to lose the people who don't respect you. Letting go of toxic relationships makes room for the healthier ones. And you might be afraid to see some of these relationships go, but if they're not really healthy and if they're not building you up, then it's time, honestly, to love yourself enough to make some new friends. So many people subscribe to my channel because they want my successful strategies for making money or investing in real estate or just becoming a more successful person. Sometimes that just starts so inward with who you are. If you're a people pleaser, replace that with purpose. It's time for you to live for you and not just others. It's time to reconnect to your purpose, your passions, developing unshakable confidence. The truth is, when you own your own self-worth, no one can take it away from you. So if you want to overcome people pleasing, I'm just going to put it in a very basic 5-step plan. Step 1 is awareness. Recognize when and why you're people pleasing. Once you become aware of it, then you have a choice. You can actually choose out of it. Step 2, set boundaries. Define what you're comfortable with and then stick to those boundaries. Step 3, practice assertiveness. Communicate your needs clearly and firmly. And don't be afraid to say no when you're overcommitting yourself to the wrong thing. Number 4, prioritize yourself. Take time for self-care and self-reflection. And finally, step 5, surround yourself with good support. Build a circle of people who respect you and they encourage your growth. These are the lessons that I had to painfully learn over years that ultimately allowed me to become a better husband, a better father, a better investor, more successful in the community. And this is just the beginning of what I teach people that truly want to become successful. If you liked this video, it's honestly just the beginning of what I can share with you to develop the best parts of you so that all these outward results and the financial trappings and winnings and success, that's a byproduct that comes from loving yourself, taking care of yourself, and stepping into your true power. I've got an event coming up called Unleash Your Financial Destiny. And this event is helping you become the best version of you. It's investing in a greater mindset and then learning financial wealth strategies and hacks that you can implement to become a more successful person. And if you click the link below, you can get registered for my next upcoming event. Spots are always very limited. The place fills up, but I'll tell you that when you come, you are going to have a life-changing experience. Because I understand that you don't just need the tools for making money, you need the mindset for making money. And at this event, I'm going to spend 3 days with you, and I'm going to give you everything that you need to financially win, but more importantly, win at being successful in your own life. Click the link below, get some information about my next upcoming event, and maybe I'll see you there. And I get it, you might be thinking, but Kris, honestly, am I gonna get a plane? Am I gonna go visit you in Utah at your event center? I might, but I'm gonna give you another alternative. In that link below, I'm also going to give you an opportunity to mentor with me. Let me step into your world. Let me help bring the very best parts of you forward. Let me help you become this unstoppable beast with the results that you want in your life, but loving yourself along the way, feeling powerful, feeling great, feeling awesome, and truly making a difference in the world. If that resonates with you, click the link below and learn about having me as a mentor that can help you accomplish all of that. But whatever you do, take some kind of action. Either join me live and come to my event and have a life-changing experience, or request information on having me as a mentor in your life. Do something and do it right now. Now, if there's a chance you watch this video and you're like, wait, what? You teach people how to become very financially wealthy and successful? How do I get started with that? If you watch right here, click this link and I've got a video teed up to show you my beginner's guide to crushing it as a brand new investor.